Hi, I'm Madison Roberts, and this is On the Couch, another episode. We're with Blac Rabbit today. Hey, guys. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, nice to meet you guys. So we're going to do this a little differently today. I'm going to start with some icebreakers. I'll answer them, too, so that way that's how icebreakers work. Okay, cool. So first, if you were on a desert island, if you have an item, what would you bring? So I would bring a solar-powered radio.
I'd bring this guy right here. And something that'll help me. Yeah, I mean, something that'll help me some weed.
I'd bring probably one of my Zoom pedals, guitar pedals, and then just build a guitar. And then I would bring Josh, so Amir and I have a band relationship.
Great.
Well, I bring,
I won't be offended. Don't worry. It's not me.
Well, I kind of want to bring a model, really. I gotta have some, like, female connection if I'm, like, stuck on a deserted island, you know? Maybe not, or just bring, like, one of you guys, like, have a good time.
Right. That's a cheap answer, but I get it. No, that's fine. You're going to pick one of them. That's cool.
A big bag of shrooms.
Okay. All right. This one, it's like a PG version, but it's date, marry, and then disappear forever. And your options are all the Beatles,
This is an easy one. This is an easy one for me.
All right, let's get it.
Okay. Date. Paul McCartney. Marry.
He was a cute one.
Yeah.
It's debatable.
I mean,
George Harrison. Marry. Kill Ringo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ringo Starr.
Yeah.
make disappear forever.
Oh, make
Right,
disappear
okay.
forever. Oh.
Yeah. Maybe marry George, date John, and Ringo disappear.
Yeah.
Mine's pretty much the same as Mary's.
Yeah, poor Ringo. I kind of figured he was going to be the one that's a goner forever, but
We've met Ringo.
Probably marry John, date Paul, and then make Ringo. Sorry.
okay.
Sorry, Ringo.
Sorry, Ringo. It's okay. He knew it was coming anyway.
Yeah. That's what happens.
Okay, so on the Beatles, though. So there's a conspiracy out there that they say that Paul McCartney died in 1960s in a car accident. Thoughts, concerns, anything about that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's like it's kind of fun and stupid in a way. I don't know. It's like, it sounds like a fun thing that like kids made up in the 60s, but like it became this like kind of weird thing. Now people actually believe it, and I don't know. I think it's pretty weird, to be honest.
So
It's
not
pretty
believe it?
Yeah, I don't believe it at all.
Yeah, I did go down that rabbit hole a while ago, but honestly, like,
I watched it.
I know that the Beatles were in on it. They were in on it. Like, Paul was reading those articles about him, and I think they started intentionally throwing clues in the Beatles album covers.
All I have to say is Paul is dead. Illuminati confirmed.
Yeah. Illuminati over
Yeah.
everything.
I mean, after a while, I think they like he said, they started like fucking with people. Like when John said Paul is Paul, the Walrus is Paul and Glass Onion.
Yeah.
That was like one of the clues that people like, you know, took to say like, oh, Paul's dead. But like really, I feel like it was just them fucking with.
Yeah, well, there's like, they say that like the evidence is if you play one of the songs backwards, it sounds like it's super clear. I can obviously hear it, but you're like, that's how everything is backwards. It just sounds like whatever. Anyway, yeah.
Weird
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, how did you guys all meet? I know you two are brothers. You're twins, right?
He's actually my clone. I created him in a laboratory.
Oh, okay. But how did you guys all meet up? I mean, if you guys started it all, right? Then how did you guys come into play?
I met them at a gig that I was playing with my band. Yeah, they had a bassist at the time. He was a dick, so he quit, and then they called me up. They wanted me to play sessions, and so I just joined after that. Been with them ever since.
We met Patrick about 6 or 7 years ago at a music store in Sam Ash, and we wanted to. My brother and I were trying to perform because they were having an open mic. They did an open mic every week, and we didn't have a drummer, and his band flaked on him, I think, that day, so we just played for the first time together without any rehearsal,
Yeah.
and it went really well, so we started a band, and we're here now.
And it's crazy. And it's crazy when we first started talking, I didn't like tell them that I played the drums because I wanted to be a lead singer and stuff. And my old band, I was like kind of singing and whatever. And then I had a friend with me that day, and he told them that I played the drums, and we were like, oh, cool. Like, we need a drummer for like the song that we're about to play. You want to do it with us? And did it.
So I actually have a question for you. So I was reading about you guys, obviously, but one thing that it said about you is that you were a heavy, like a metal and church drummer.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well,
At the same time? Yeah.
Well, I was mostly a church drummer. Like, I grew up in the church my whole entire life, and like I started playing drums in the church and did that for a while until like I joined this band. And for a long time, I always wanted to kind of keep my drumming in the church and stuff. And then when I met them and started playing drums more, in the secular side, I kind of just like switched, I guess. But yeah, the metal thing, I was into metal, but I wasn't really a good metal drummer. I was
To
in
us,
one.
you were.
Yeah.
To us, you definitely were.
Yeah. I was in like one metal band and they kicked me out because I wasn't really that good.
That's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But
And you put us on to a lot of metal bands like Black Veil Brides.
oh
and
yeah.
what were some of the other ones?
Asking Alexandria,
Yeah.
Sleeping with Sirens, just all the like
Are those metal bands?
cringy,
Really?
2009 scene bands.
Yeah,
I was
there you
also
go.
into some heavy like Slipknot. I still like
Josh
listen to
was too,
Slipknot.
actually. Josh was like a
Time
metal
to time.
guitarist.
That's what before. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the first was classic
was a
rock, and
metal-
then like segued
he
into
was
like
the
heavy metal guitar, like, where it was like grindcore and like deathcore and like all the cores of metal.
Yeah.
That's what I was into for a while.
So many chords.
Yeah, until high school, and then I was just a straight indie head.
Yeah, Josh was the true metalhead.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I was a true scene kid.
There was always one. There's always one in the group, I feel
So
like.
that's fun, yeah.
So, the Taylor brothers. So you guys were discovered, I have to say it. You were performing in the subway, underground, not the subway, the restaurant, and which some people think. And you were covering the Beatles. So, and now you're doing concerts like this at Jack Rabbit's, and you're doing venues. So, what is the different vibes from both, like compared to the subway performances in here?
Well, for one, I mean, people come, they pay to see you here, which is a little different. On the subway, it's always a mixed bag. It's very, you never know how people are going to react. Like my brother and I used to play in the summertime, and sometimes, a lot of times, we'd have a lot of really positive, like, feedback. But there would also be days where we were feeling off and we were just tired because we had to do it, and people would walk past us, and because it's New York and you don't blame them for it, but sometimes it was like stressful, like playing for like 6 hours, screaming like over the trains and stuff, and people not acknowledging that much, but it's cool. We love New York, so it's fun.
Is there one situation when you were doing a subway performance that sticks out to you? Maybe like a wild one or just really strange?
One that, it was like strange and like very emotionally moving. It was somewhere uptown, and we came home and there was this video that surfaced of this blind man, like this blind old man, and he was like tapping his foot and like dancing kind of to it. And someone commented, they were like, I take care of this man, like I live in the complex that he lives in, and I haven't seen him smile or like show any joy in years, and that was like definitely moving.
That is so nice. So I saw also that I mention my research often because I want to prove how good I am at it. But so I'm not. So you're releasing. It says that a new album is releasing in 2019. Is that right? What can we all expect from all of that kind of stuff?
It's like a more detailed, more layered version of the EP. I think the songwriting's a little bit tighter, a little more refined, higher budget recording. So yeah.
So the main songwriters, is that you two? Is that the brothers over here? How do you guys get your inspiration from everything and all that kind of stuff?
I guess it comes from very deep down. A lot of times, like, I'll write a whole song and not know what it means until, like, the last minute before I record it. Like, you don't even realize, you play, in some cases, some of the new songs on the album, like, we've been playing for months, and, like, I'm just starting to put a meaning to it, but it's all kind of comes out subconsciously, I think. Yeah, you don't realize how relevant the lyrics are to your life, like, half the time until you sang it, like, over 100 times. Yeah.
It's just engraved into your minds at that point. It's just life. That's awesome. So, so if you could tell the audience and all your fans one thing as a final say for this, what would you tell them?
One of the biggest things for me is, like, I like seeing, like, new, even younger artists than us coming up to us after shows and being like, I'm starting a band, and, like, seeing you guys on the uprise really brought me to do what I'm doing now. So, like, young bands with potential, like, just keep going for it and keep playing. Like, you can play a lot of shows. to nobody, but it will pay off, like as long as you're willing to put in the work for it.
And you stay positive too.
Stay positive.
Yeah.
Always stay
Yeah.
positive.
Yeah, we've like had to go through that a few times during this tour, like trying to keep a positive mind, and those are usually when you can keep a positive mind. That's how like you know make it, and that's how like it gets better. You know?
I think it's also kind of like relatable because we're not like signed to a label or anything right now. We're just kind of like doing it, and a lot of bands or a lot of aspiring musicians look at us might think like, oh yeah, that's doable if I just have the funds. Like I just have to keep working at it. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. This is Blac Rabbit, and you're with Spinnaker Radio. Thank you.
1, 2, 1, 2.